What's up, everybody? It's Joe La Puma. You were watching the Complex Sneakers podcast. As always, I'm joined by my two friends, my two co-hosts. First off, to my right, Mr. Matt Welty.
Cold, rainy day.
Miserable weather. Left the jacket on inside because that's how bad it is out. Him, to my left, for this. Hat down low.
I love this weather.
You really?
Yeah.
Mr. Brendan Dunne,
Feels
always
like
ready
home.
for any conditions.
All conditions.
I was waiting for all the Pacific Northwest isms just to roll off.
You can imagine them. Yeah, fill in the blanks at home. Yeah, I was showing a little bit of restraint, but yeah, you're exactly right. That's where my love for these kind of climbs comes from.
This is normal for you.
I'm right at home.
Okay.
What's the go-to rain shoe?
For me?
Yeah.
Actually, this is an embarrassing thing to even confront, but it's the type of thing I think about a lot where it's raining and you're like, oh, what sneakers am I going to wear? And then you realize you don't really have a go-to one, even though you have hundreds of pairs of sneakers and you don't have the right one for just a little bit of rain. But I don't want to get ahead of it, but should we talk about the shoes we're wearing now? Or
Yeah. Oh, quick.
I mean, because he asked and it's raining.
Go for it.
This has been one that I will wear in the rain from time to time. The Iraq Adidas ZX 8000 because it has some Gore-Tex layering on it.
Oh, you're good. You're prepared.
Yeah, I got the membrane on there, so I'm ready to go scuba diving if need be.
Insane in the membrane.
Joe, what do you got
Thunder
on
Force
feet?
for me.
I like this. We usually don't do this early, but why not?
Thunder Force for me. A little hat tip to our guest who's going to be out here in a little bit.
Okay.
Shares the same love for the fours that I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
matching the jacket.
Yeah, heavy matching the jacket.
You know, this jacket's giving me kind of X-Men vibes.
With the sunroof?
Yeah, you got the see-through window.
CP Company-esque.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking, what is it, Air Jordan 2000? And
oh yeah,
with the see-through window.
In
Joe's got a
Look,
see-through.
This is all conditions, just in case, right?
Joe's bundling up. Turn on the video right now.
So,
do you see what I mean in terms of the X-Men colorway, like from the
Gambit?
Or what about
Wolverine.
Gambit? I mean, just the color in general. You're just naming X-Men.
I didn't know there was a standard X-Men.
Did you ever watch the cartoon?
I remember Gambit used to throw the aces.
Yeah, Mon Ami, yeah. Welty, did you ever watch the X-Men cartoon?
Not really, no. Sorry.
Okay.
Rainy day, so I broke out the Rainier.
Rainier,
Yeah.
nice. A little bit of wordplay.
Palme, Leon, Dor.
Nice.
New Balances.
Did you go to ALD this weekend?
So had a little New York weekend.
And you were uncomfortable.
No, I didn't say I was uncomfortable. I said it pushed my comfort.
Wow, really?
What did
New
he
York
say?
City, yeah.
You went right.
Did you go to ALD?
I didn't go to. You know what? And this is gonna. You guys are gonna make fun of me for it.
Okay.
So I walked past.
Super down.
I don't know where it is.
They moved ALD.
Where is it?
It's over on Crosby now.
Because there was a construction on Mulberry.
Okay,
You were in Mulberry.
I was past Mulberry, but I just.
You go to Il Cortile? You didn't go to Il Cortile, right?
No.
Okay.
I went to Cannoli King.
Yep, saw that.
Got a cannoli and iced coffee. Big JLP vibes.
Yep, nice.
Pistachio flavored.
Wow, pistachio flavored coffee.
No, pistachio. No.
Oh.
Cannoli.
Okay, sorry. Well, pistachio anything is great, but also
Pistachio Dunks.
pistachio dunks.
Good colorway.
Pistachio coffee is really good too.
I don't drink coffee.
It's a seasonal coffee for Starbucks. I'm a Dunkin' Donuts guy. When they have the pistachio,
If you want to get really wild, I did it a few weeks ago. You get a piece of baklava and then get pistachio ice cream with it.
I love pistachio ice cream.
And the exact text. So, again, Welty was in the city this weekend, which is something that, can I say, never happens for you?
Very rare.
You're in Jersey when you're not at work.
Yes.
Yeah. He said, so out of my comfort zone right now is what he told us.
Yeah. But you know what? I survived.
You gonna come back anytime
Believe
soon?
it or not, Matt Welty survived a weekend in the big city.
I went to Brooklyn on a Sunday.
Wow.
Had brunch.
Any
Famous
sneaker
Brooklyn
stores?
hater.
Went to. There was Brendan actually went there as well. There was like a Stone Island archival pop-up sale.
Not in Brooklyn, but downtown in LAS.
Downtown.
You guys cop anything?
I picked up a jacket.
Okay.
I didn't.
Shout out to the good folks at Leisure Center on Hester Street.
Okay.
So made the walk up Orchard Street through quote unquote Dime Square, I guess as it's called, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Walk past Scar's Pizza.
Oh, love Scar. Shouts to Scar.
Went into Extra Butter.
Okay.
Was Bernie around?
No. But store looked great.
You buy any sneakers?
No, but they had. Oh, you know what I saw there, Joe, in person? Well, I see them on your foot, but they still had the Margiela Solomons, the MM6. They didn't have the brown.
What's the
ones.
retail price on those? Do we know?
I didn't check on
I
it.
still kind of want to. That's a nice rain sneaker if you get a
Yeah,
hold of
They
them.
had the red ones, but they look really cool in person.
Yep.
Okay. Did you get any itch to buy some sneakers? Or
I know.
no?
It was still, remember this? This is
Yeah.
kind of the campaign I'm on, is to try and
Yep.
convince Matt
Yeah.
Welty to buy more sneakers.
Went there, then
Apparently not.
went across the street.
Didn't even address it.
Went across the street. And there's Vault 134. owned
Yeah,
by
some of our friends.
our friend Guala. Then
Guala as in Trinidad, James?
yes,
Okay.
he owns
Very
a store.
same.
Right on Orchard Street.
Cool.
Went into Kith.
Yeah, I saw you took a photo. I realized it was Kith. What was that?
I said big JLP shoe,
Yes.
and it was the Hender Scheme black Jordan
Yeah.
4s.
Yeah. Not my best.
Did you buy anything at Kith?
No,
No ice cream?
it was.
You didn't
it
get
was,
the JLP. Shouts to Speedy, who was in
was gonna-
Hawaii, sent me.
I was gonna check the menu to
JLP.
see if it was still there, but it was.
It's still there.
What do you mean? You thought they took them off the
I mean, the sales
menu?
haven't been great. I think.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know. I may need to do
Do you
some
get-
marketing around my ice cream. But Speedy was in Hawaii. He said ice cream's still going strong. He sent a picture of the menu. Didn't send a picture of him holding the ice cream, which is probably why. He
Oh,
yeah,
he might have went around the corner to Banan Waikiki.
exactly,
Yeah.
or chose the the LeBron James one. But yeah, I gotta do some marketing,
Some
maybe for my
grass-
ice-
some grassroots.
Okay.
Listen, if you guys are near Kith in any location, get my ice cream. It's really
Yeah,
good.
run it up.
Run up my ice cream. We got to get the sales. Got to get the sales up.
Oh, so speaking of New York City sneaker stores, went into Nike NYC.
Did you make it up the?
Made it up. It was funny because it wasn't on the way up, but on the way down, one of the escalators was out.
Oh wow!
They
little
said we know he's
foreshadowing
coming.
There.
We know he's coming.
Yeah.
we'll have it set up for you, Mr. Welty.
Yeah.
Went there. Went to the Adidas store.
Oh, I neglected to go to Mercer. We only.
I
wow.
walked past it. I didn't
when's it?
go.
Mercer will be closed by the time this episode comes out, but we're
Okay, but
recording
you
this a
can-
little bit early, so
yeah,
I
you
still
can
have
still-
a few more days to.
The one
see
place I
last
told
page
you
of Nike
guys that I
Lab.
went to that was actually exciting is going to the Stussy NYC store, and they were playing old Dipset mixtapes in there, and it just like restored that New York City streetwear feeling. And
Yeah, maybe if you would come to New York every once in a while, you would have the feeling more often.
yeah,
He just comes here to Times Square to record episodes, and then he leaves.
That's it, huh?
yeah.
They were playing some capo though in Stussy, right?
Speaking of Dipset, Welty, did you make it to the Drake show at the Apollo?
No, I didn't. Did you guys?
No.
No. Again, we're recording this one a little bit early, so apologize if we're kind of out of sync. But I thought maybe you would have had a +1 there, Welty.
No, sorry.
No.
Did you come to the Apollo show where Dipset performed?
I didn't. No.
No.
Who put that on years ago?
Atmos?
Was it an Atmos event?
Think so.
Why did I think it was a Jimmy Jazz event?
Might have been. I think. Atmos did that Cameron concert recently.
Got it. Yeah, that was a classic Complex night. But
You didn't go
don't
from
remember
Little
it,
Italy to the Apollo and listen to Over My Dead Body with your +1?
No.
All right. Okay.
the one.
That would have been a nice nightcap.
you
One
know?
of the things I posted that I saw, so I went into the Rowing Blazers store, and they had like this old shoe that was it said
Yeah.
Sperry
I
Topsider
saw
by
that.
New Balance.
That was interesting.
but the shoe actually looked really cool.
was it on sale?
Yeah, it was like they have like a vintage section in the
Yeah.
back, and one of the guys working said love the pod, so
Okay.
Oh,
Shouts to him.
did you consider buying the sneakers?
they were $175 for a pair of pretty cooked old shoes.
The guy listens to the pod. Yeah. There goes that bit of goodwill we had.
So you didn't buy anything but food.
You went to Golden Diner,
Oh, I did. Yes,
I've never been there.
a favorite of mine.
that's the Brendan
Swing by.
Dunne spot.
Okay.
Swing by, let
Drop
him know
your
I sent
name?
you. Yeah, oh yeah, oh
Okay.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
was thinking of places to go, and I remember you always had mentioned that it's
Yeah.
one of the favorite places in the pancakes.
Yep.
The blueberry compote
Did you like it?
hits.
Thank you. Well, I mean, it sounds like I'm glad to hear that. I should say.
You see, like,
like it's a personal compliment.
Like he cooked it.
like I'm the creative director or something. Can we talk about some upcoming sneakers? Because I saw some interesting stuff.
Of course.
Sakai Footscapes.
Like
look
those.
cool.
Yeah, are we into those?
Yeah.
I'm a Footscape guy, even though not really the most comfortable sneaker there is.
They're made for people with wide feet.
And as we know, I have totally regular feet, so unless we want to break out the Brannick again.
No, we don't need to do
Okay,
that.
okay. I feel like we've seen kind of enough Sakai Nike at this point, and it's getting kind of predictable. So I'm glad to see that the Footscape
Yes,
doesn't
'cause
follow
they-
that double up formula.
They have not made a good shoe in a minute.
Yeah,
I didn't like the second version of the Vapor Waffle.
yeah. Or even like all the Blazers.
The Cortez.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I like the Cortez, okay, but it's just. At what point
The Cortez was
have you
sitting
had
at
enough
the,
of
they,
Sakai
they were
Nike?
still sitting at the Nike NYC store.
Yeah.
Also, another shoe I saw sitting there randomly was like a pair of like the West Indies Air Force Ones.
Oh, really?
Wasn't expecting that.
You didn't consider buying a pair for your friend PG?
Thing that's everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That I was surprised going into all the New York City sneaker stores. Chicago Air Jordan 2s, like every store has them.
Really? Sitting?
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
That I wouldn't have expected that because I would have thought that when you co-signed the Air Jordan 2 this past year and wore it as,
Well, I
as a
would've-
rare moment of Welty and Jordans,
Exactly.
that would have
would've
sent
thought
the
that
silhouette
when-
into the stratosphere.
Trinidad James had declared that he needs at least 10 pairs, that the shoes would have sold out.
If nothing else, you could buy a pair and sell them to Trinidad James.
Did you see the new CDG New Balance from the show?
Yeah, I like some of those. Okay.
I'm surprised you all black.
So every time I see that CDG New Balance stuff, it's like in your head, you're like, oh, this is going to be cool. But then you see it and it's like kind of underwhelming sometimes, right?
Yeah, I like some of the other. I'm trying to remember who it was. Our friend Joe Grondin
Yes, he was
posted.
there.
What did he post? Is there a new like? I don't want to get the brand wrong.
There's Oralee.
Yeah, the new Oralee New Balances. Those are good to me. Those strike my fancy. I think more than the
New
upcoming
CD.
CDG
Okay.
stuff. Another upcoming sneaker. Well, kind of upcoming in a way, but it's actually an old sneaker. Is the Biggie Air Jordan 13 project?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Interesting.
Sotheby's
Very
just
random.
revealed. Yeah, they're auctioning off 23 exclusive pairs. This is a Christopher Wallace Air Jordan 13. They're collaborating with the Christopher Wallace Memorial Foundation. These sneakers were actually made back in 2017 to celebrate Biggie's 45th birthday, and it's kind of surprising that they're only now seeing the light of day.
There must have been some sort of snafu behind the scene that's like...
Yeah, you have to wonder why they didn't release back then, but it's a black and red Air Jordan 13. I like the colorway just fine, but maybe because it's just a simple black and red Jordan, and it's hard to go wrong with that. They have the flannel print on the inside, red and black with the hat to match, so that's kind of a cool tribute. But also, I'm like, why is there a Biggie Air Jordan? I mean, didn't... Joe, if I remember correctly, when you had Diddy on Sneaker Shopping, you were asking him about Biggie being into sneakers, and I think he kind of told you straight up, like, I'm not going to lie to you and say that Biggie was super into sneakers. Biggie liked to smoke weed and hang out. He didn't really care that much about
A lot of Tims.
footwear, right?
A lot
Like,
of Tims, yeah.
There was a picture that our friend Goodburger had posted recently of Biggie in a pair of white and red Air Jordan 12s, which I had never seen before, which
Yeah.
kind of caught me off guard because there's only I feel like there's only a handful of Biggie sneaker photos that go around the
Yeah.
internet. There's like that Air Max Tailwind photo
Yeah.
that everyone posts. I believe there's a photo of him in the Bo Jackson Auburn shoe.
Okay.
And yeah, in that Air Jordan 12.
There's one Jordan 11 he was rocking. But yeah, like you said, there's not a lot of
Biggie sneaker
Biggie
photos.
Jordan moments.
Yeah, so I'm just like, why him for this collaboration? Or
also
why
like
his estate for this collaboration?
It's such an easy...
It's an auction. It's going to be a charity thing, which is cool. But
Yeah, for sure.
I'm still. Did this need to exist?
I had actually asked Paul this morning because I know that our
Paul at PG.
Yeah, I'd
PG
asked
knows?
because before I like read the whole thing, I just had seen that was going around, and I was like, because obviously our friend Puneet does a lot of those really rare shoes on Sotheby's, and I was like, are these his shoes? And he's like, no, like.
No, I think it's with Jordan Brand.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I didn't realize that like it's actually Jordan Brand releasing them through Sotheby's.
Yeah, and again, I'm just surprised that we have never seen them before because
I've never seen those.
Or even heard of it. Like sometimes you hear like whispers or about this stuff.
Yeah, first I'm hearing of them.
Same here.
But I think you can go see them on display at Sotheby's, so I guess that's cool if the public can partake, even if they're not gonna.
What do you think
on them.
Michael Jordan's favorite Biggie song is?
I'd be surprised if Michael Jordan can name 3 Biggie songs.
You don't think he lives his life by the 10 crack commandments?
Don't ever get high on your own supply. That's why he wears Team Jordans instead of retros. He threaded the needle somehow.
Boy.
Did you see the Tiffany Air Force One?
No, but did they respond about how much the baby Tiffany is?
Truist, yes, you asked me about this. Truist said the baby Tiffany Nike SB Dunks are not available for sale.
Damn, okay.
It's just a display piece, or
He just said they're not available.
He gave you the NA? Not applicable?
NFS, yeah.
All right.
What about Tiffany Air Force Ones? Did you see this leak?
No. When was this? Was this during the Giants game? No, I missed that.
Well, who should post them but PG knows.
Ooh.
Really not that exciting. I feel like I'm just talking about all these upcoming shoes and saying they suck, but this is my thoughts.
I remember Paul was actually talking about this, or he posted about it like I think over a year ago.
I'm sending them to you now, Joe.
That there was like rumbles or whisperings of there being a Tiffany Air Force One collaboration.
Oh, really? Back then?
Yeah, like over a year ago. I don't know what her name is, but
Ruba.
Yes, the woman who's the
creative director
is
Tiffany,
like,
yeah.
She's kind of like tapped into this whole space.
Yeah, she's close with Fraser Cook for a while now.
And I think she had been
Nike.
posting, not like this shoe, and I don't want to get this wrong, but I think she had been posting like Air Force One stuff on her IG story.
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It's okay. There's only one.
I'll
only
reserve
one Tiffany,
judgment,
Only
but-
one Tiffany shoe has my heart, and we all know what that is. We just talked about
Yeah,
it.
it's really tough to one up that shoe. I mean, I know we've had talks on here.
The Diamond Dunks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that we've had talks on
Yeah.
here where like, oh, is the yellow Tiffany better than the OG?
We had that conversation?
I believe so.
I think you asked it, and it's an emphatic no. Even though the canary one,
I thought it was a debate. Like,
No.
people
To me,
like,
no.
no. Oh, is it a debate online?
I thought people like have talked about it before.
I don't think
yeah.
so. I mean, canary is a great
Well,
one.
neither.
But you're going against the one. The one.
Yeah.
You like it better?
I didn't say anything. I just said it was a debate. I thought
Oh
we
no,
had
I was asking.
no.
Do you like it better?
Because
you have them?
so. No. No.
All right.
I like them both better than what we've seen so far of the Tiffany Air Force One, but
Agreed.
let's reserve judgment until we see a better
course.
set of photos. Leather eye stay, the thing on the back, yeah. Hope they turn out good.
Me too.
Any other sneaker stuff you want to talk about?
No, someone commented on the Undertaker episode. I have the Hayes dunks on. Go listen to the Hayes.
Got the graffiti pandas.
Someone's saying JLP wearing pandas, no clickbait. Is it possible that people think those are the pandas?
We had made that joke because Brendan had worn them on full size run.
Oh,
Yeah, but I think that there are definitely some people who believe that it's a permutation of the panda.
Oh, if someone just looked at it real quick, who's not
Maybe.
who's not into shoes, and it's like not into shoes. I don't want to say that, but
Yeah.
the Hayes Dunk comes from an era like just way before a lot of people got into shoes. It's
Yeah.
not like shots or whatever, but the
No.
shoes from what 2003.
A lot of the audience or a lot of
Yeah.
people out there making podcasts
20
who
years
weren't
ago.
into sneakers.
The shoe came out
that
20.
happened.
The shoe came out 20 years ago, so it's like
You learned about that shoe from reading on complex.com about it.
which is totally fine. But there's so many people who take a look at that and don't even know what it is. So for them to say that, perfect example, if Nike did like one of those like vote back sort of things, and you put
He
the
still got him on a back.
yeah.
if you put the Hayes Dunk and the Panda Dunk, I guarantee you that the Panda Dunk would win. That's not even crazy to say, but
No, not
Yeah,
at
that's
all.
interesting. I have a question.
Please.
We're in the heart of football season. The whole big rage is turning sneakers into football cleats. If you were a wide receiver, what sneaker are you Are you making a New Balance into a cleat?
I feel like people have done that before.
Really?
I feel
a New
like-
Balance one?
I think maybe
The Joe Fresh Goods, like a pink one. Maybe that's what you're.
I thought there
you're
was, like-
running slants in.
I thought maybe
I
there
would
was
love to
like
see that.
I want to say someone did like a New Balance like the 620 like the dad shoe into
As a
like,
football cleat.
I think so.
I don't remember that at all, but if anybody
If
would
you just
remember.
did like a gray 990 and made it into a football cleat, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
The slowest wide receiver ever.
No, but imagine if someone who played for like Washington.
Yeah.
Or the Patriots.
No. Well, but
Yeah.
like one of the DMV teams,
Yeah.
or Ravens did a gray 990 cleat. I feel like that would actually really hit. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
Because who was wearing the Debo Samuel, the crystal cleats.
That was absurd. Usually I don't care about that type of stuff. When I saw those, him with the Cactus Plant Flea Market Swarovski cleats.
I would wear the blue Giants home jersey with maybe the Coral Studios into the.
It's too late for a Giants jersey, buddy.
What about next season?
It's always next season.
How heartbreaking was that loss for you, Joe?
Not that heartbreaking. I said that.
For us, for both of us, Giants
both
fans.
of us. I think when you're totally outmatched and out-talented, or one team plays way better, you just got to accept it. So I wasn't that heartbroken.
Yeah, we were fine.
He was texting me.
We didn't need much consoling.
He was breaking down the
X's
game.
and O's.
Like Scott Van Pelt. Yeah. Scott Van Pelt, he was texting me. But listen, we had a great season. I'm proud of the guys. We hold our heads up high.
Yes, we did.
But we ran into.
I'm holding my head low today.
We ran into a better team, so that's okay.
Yeah, we're fine with that. Yeah. Should we bring on a guest?
It's time.
A man whose football team is quite prospering at the time of recording.
Yep, and who's. Yeah, at the time of recording, exactly. Be careful because you never know.
Don't want to jinx it.
But yeah, look good this weekend. Our guest on today's podcast has been in the sneaker industry for decades now and has been the owner of one of the premier Midwest sneaker stores for 14 years. During that time, through bespoke installations on release day and always having a community-first outlook, the store has remained a must-visit when you're in the Cincinnati, Ohio area. With a distinct view on sneaker retail past and present, we're excited to welcome to the podcast the owner of Corporate, our old friend, Matt Tomamichel. Matt, welcome. Little surprised I wore the fours for you. You didn't, my brother in fours? No.
My bad, dog. Like I said, man, the snow had to throw on the Old Faithfuls, and here I am.
What are you wearing instead?
Little friends and family fragment.
Wow.
Actually.
Okay, these are his snowshoes. These are his shoveling snowshoes.
Legitly.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wait, the friends and family one?
They had to be.
How is it different?
Okay, so a little black badge, and
the stamp.
The stamp is black.
A little bit.
Did Hiroshi stamp them himself?
He might have himself.
Wow.
We don't know.
Where'd you get them?
A friend of a friend.
Give thanks to the stamp. That's what our friend DJ Khaled said.
There it is. There it is.
How close do you think the next closest person in the Midwest is to you that has those shoes?
Oh man, right down the street probably in
Wait
Cincinnati.
Oh, I was just saying like the radius of.
Cincinnati has crazy collectors like.
Who?
Things. Oh man. You want me to name them? There's this guy Ryan Hall. Man, I'm talking all about him this whole episode.
Ryan Hall.
Yeah, Ryan Hall. Legit, just has everything.
Really?
What about Sneaker Dave?
Oh, Sneaks got everything too. His office in our warehouse is like crazy. I'm like, man, you really took time and effort to make sure that you brought everything.
Big shout out to Dave Whitehead, Sneaker Dave.
Sneaks, man.
Dave Whitehead,
Yeah, you already know.
What about Joe Burrow? What are he rocking?
Man, it don't matter right now. He can do no wrong in Cincinnati.
Does he shop at Corporate?
He has not been in yet, but I mean, from the streets, they know. He knows. So.
How do you know he knows?
He knows.
Right? Everybody knows, man.
Yeah,
Corporate got him. Like that's just like, come on, man.
And that's the thing, we talked about in the intro, but like this year, 15 years.
Yeah, man.
15 years of Corporate. What's, how much of a milestone is like that for you?
Dude, like it almost feels unreal because like, man, I was telling them like, sneaker friends, like we were hanging out and I was just like the kid, they're like, man,
this is you and Joe at the legigenary Sneaker Friends trip.
What was that? Like 08, 09?
Amazing trip.
Like 2010.
The one you got tied up.
I never got tied up by Mayor, okay? I never got tied up by Mayor. Also, me and Mayor were close at Sneaker Friends. We had the fallout after, which I still don't know. The second Sneaker Friends I went to in Charlotte is when he wanted to tie me up in the bathroom, but he didn't.
He didn't actually
thank you,
tie you
Mayor.
up.
Appreciate you. Always. But
yeah,
so Sneaker Friends, we probably met at Sneaker Friends, right?
Yeah.
Chris, C to the JL,
C to
Marcus
JL.
Troy, the OGs.
Premium Pete.
Ronnie was there. Yep.
Telling us the game plan.
Greg Street.
And I'm like, okay, like I need to figure out how to get really good really fast, I see.
Ronnie was telling you
Ronnie
in
was
2008,
like,
2009 how he planned to build an empire.
I mean, and it was like one of them things where you're like, hey, if he really pulls this off, that's amazing.
Did you see the vision when he was like telling you it back then?
I mean, I'm like, hey, anybody got, you know what I mean? Like I was just trying to have a seat and trying to relax. And he was like, I'm coming this way. I'm going to do this. And I was like, hey, man.
Yeah.
I believe. If you say it, I
Was
believe.
Joe La Puma's ice cream flavor in the 15-year business plan that he lined out that weekend?
No.
not yet.
But
Was
Joe
not.
was so cool because, again, the Jordan 4, man. Like, when you see it, you just recognize, like, we're good.
That was
forever.
peak Cuddy uniform for me.
Yeah.
Bape t-shirt, APC jeans, and the Jordan 4s, which
Perfect.
I haven't got too far away from that. Right? No, but that was, yeah, I remember. And Matt Halfhill was there.
Yep. Matt. Street brought us all together for real.
Yes, he did.
You know,
Shouts to DJ Greg Street.
Yeah. Introduced me to Clark, introduced me to, everybody. And from there, it's just been like, these are big bros.
Are you on the list for the Air Force Ones?
We can talk about that on here.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Definitely on the list, man. You know, Clark.
Did you see him? Did you see him this weekend?
I didn't see
They
them.
got previewed by
All Day.
All Day did break him out in Paris, and I was kind of wondering, like, hey, man. Like,
did he break the NDA? But he's part of it, so.
If anybody can do that, it's All Day.
Yeah, All Day can do
that's
anything.
true.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yo, funny story. All Day calls me during the pandemic, and he's like, you good? I'm like, I'm good. He's like, okay, because I didn't have to get on the road. I was like, hey, man, I love you, bro.
What do you mean?
Wait, what?
I mean, All Day is just, like I said, like, these guys are, like, big bros.
Yes.
So, like, All Day takes me serious, and he's
Yeah.
just like, man, like, yo, you good?
Just to check in on you to see
Yeah.
if, like, you were good.
What was going to happen if you said no?
I mean, that's All Day. All Day is just like, he just knows us. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to make sure the people that he cares about are good.
I fuck with All Day heavy. And I said the F word, because I do. I fuck with All Day.
He's just a good guy, man.
He is a good guy.
Of course, I'm not disputing
I'm
that. I
guessing
helped
you-
him get into
listen.
Complex Con. I threw him a couple bands.
You threw him bands?
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah, wristbands.
Listen,
hey, you
I've
got-
thrown him a couple bands, though.
Of course.
You know?
All
I
Day
think,
is
to be
that.
honest, like you always say, have you ever resold sneakers? I do think, like, I gave All Day a pair or two back in the day. Pulled up in the Suburban back in the day. And yeah, what I like about All Day is, and just like any of those guys, great, like, OGs to have. And then if they're not on your side, not ideal. But yeah,
we don't
shouts
want to
to All
ever
Day.
know
Best
these
of friends, the worst of
circumstances.
friends.
Shouts to All Day, yeah.
Nah, but he just
the
good
man.
people, man.
Yeah.
You know, like the check-ins are real. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So super cool.
What year did you open up corporate?
08. Yeah,
scary?
2008. Oh, what? Like, first off, like my background was like, hey man, I was doing everything to avoid going back to college. So like the shop that I worked at, they closed during the recession.
Which shop is that?
Status.
You were a buyer, right?
I was a buyer, yeah. And man, when they closed, you know, I kind of had to regroup. Like, what am I about to do? And talked to my mom and my dad, and they were just like, you might as well jump out the window too. I was like, all right. So here we are, 08, signing a lease in a terrible location. And man, that's how I just got in the game. Like, you know.
What is like that
crazy.
first, you sign the lease, and what is the like toughest part in the immediate future of building a sneaker store?
Man, so again, Cincinnati, just trying to get people to believe what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, they knew me through the mall situations, but then they didn't know what I could do on my own. So again, just kind of, you know, proving myself and just making sure that I'm bringing them along with me. So like a lot of my customers at Foot Action, you know, they came to corporate the first day and they're like, yeah, we're going to head back over to the mall. And I'm like, all right. So
Because
just
they didn't understand the boutique sneaker thing.
that, and we just didn't have everything. Like
Did
I
you
was
have a Nike
very
account?
blessed to open with Nike,
Wow.
but I did not have Jordan
Okay.
for 2 years. So, you know, you can show them Nike product, but Cincinnati is all about Jordan. I mean, it's just, you know, it's kind of like in our DNA, from Bearcats to, you know, even times with Dion wearing PEs to T.O. wearing PEs. It's just like, that's the coveted thing in Cincinnati. It's like Jordan brand.
How'd you get that Jordan brand account? Like, what does that look like for a store who's brand new, you know,
Yeah.
still relatively after a couple of years trying to convince Jordan brand that
Yeah.
you should be allowed to carry their product?
So because you have a Nike account, they don't always go hand in hand. But because I worked the Nike account so well, they were like, hey, you should really open this guy or take a look at, you know, his business plan. And it just went from there. Carl Benson was my original rep. He's no longer with the company, but he just saw potential in me. However, it wasn't to my current rep that, you know, helped me a lot and grow my business to be a business. You know, it's one thing to put shoes on the wall, but selling through that product is really difficult sometimes. and I did get in on credit hold with Nike, and that is a place of shame.
What is that?
Yeah, explain that.
Oh man, so credit hold is like legit what it sounds like. You know, your credit is bad, they put you on hold, and
So
They don't send-
you were buying product from Nike and you couldn't pay for the product.
could not pay my bill, man, and it was really rough.
When is
But
this?
This was like 2010, 11, because I actually had to move locations at that time too. So I went, closer to the city, away from the suburb area. And my rep, I think his first task was to get me off credit hold. And man, here we are today. But like I said, you got to learn these pieces of the business to get to where you want to go. That's what I'm really fortunate about. Like, people at the brand, Nike and Jordan, they actually cared about me. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't just an account number. They were like, hey, man, we see potential in you. And I've been very fortunate to meet the right people through the game.
Do you ever get frustrated with, because I know a lot of sneaker store owners talk about when you get the Nike contract or the Jordan contract or Adidas or whatever, it's like you want X amount of shoes, but then you have to like buy like $1 million worth of product or whatever it is per season. And you're like, now you have like 60% of it that you are struggling to sell. Yeah.
So, I mean, again, it's just getting smarter, right? It's trying to put the pieces to the puzzle together. Knowing what you're going to sell the least amount of, right? Buying a little bit lighter in those areas, but then knowing you're almost like your meat and potatoes business, kind of like a grocery store.
Monday through Friday.
And I mean, in our game, you already know what it is. Like, if you can't get in the first 15 minutes, like, you know where it's going to be at on your shelf forever.
It's true too. And I feel like that's with like, kind of anything, even with like YouTube, in the first like half hour, unless something like out of the ordinary
Out of the blue hits.
Exactly.
Oh,
it's like, it's very interesting. Like, maybe it's not that interesting, but it is very interesting. Like, that's exactly what it reminds me of. So you're saying like 15 minutes, if they're sitting, that you're,
I mean, you just got to figure it out. Like,
And how does that so obviously with internet, like hype building and like, oh, we know that these are going to be a coveted pair of sneakers, but does that happen a lot where, I'm sure it does, where you're like, all right, these are sitting and they're going to sit?
Yeah. So, I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, we know what's going to be hot before it even comes out, right? Like, we're all educated on this process. So for us now, it's like, how do we find that next customer? Because think about it. Prime example, like Jordan 5 Burgundy. To us, that was hot, right? We had to have those.
Yep.
Now the kids are starting to see it like, that's my grail.
Wow.
And you're like, that's your grail? Like, that's tight. So, I mean, for me, it's like, but every shoe isn't that.
Is there any that recently surprised you a little bit?
Ooh, let's see. What did we just have? The, the Ader Air Converse actually surprised me.
In terms of how fast it sold?
Man, it sold out like, I mean, we had kids coming in grabbing them.
Yeah.
And I was just like, did not see that.
Yeah.
Because, Converse had been a little bit soft the last couple months just because we're not in that summer season, right? So we were just like, where did that come from? We couldn't document it. We couldn't figure it out.
Is it tough? Because I feel like sometimes, like you talk about like the hype shoes, and it's like all the shoes that everyone wants, it's like you can't buy at the sneaker stores anyways. So sometimes when people go into like retail stores, it's like none of the shoes that they're looking for.
We're seeing that more and more often. Like,
Really?
I mean, so I'm not in the stores as much as I used to be, but Saturdays I've been trying to make sure that I'm there and just present, right? And I mean, every Saturday I get a new kid that's like, y'all got Pandas, y'all got Jordan 1s, y'all got, the 4s. Even the 4s is like the new shoe right now, right?
Thanks to this guy.
Yeah, big thanks.
No.
Well, thank you.
Black
Thank
hats?
you. Yeah.
To that point, I know that it's like with the consignment store, like the accounts, you would never have Jordan or Nike. Do you ever think, and do you think a lot of store owners ever think of looking back, like retail versus consignment? And do you have that thought ever of how different it would be, and like not regrets or anything, but does that ever like cross your mind if you were to do a consignment store versus a retail store?
I don't think that I have the personality to do that, just off the strength that like I don't like taking people up top. Like, I'm not for that. Like, you know, I know what it feels like when, you know, a shoe gets marked up on you. The Laser 4. When those came out, there was one store in the whole state that had them.
Which store?
Devereaux's.
The white one or the black?
The black one. The white one was just online.
Kid Cudi?
Yeah.
Kid Cudi.
And yes.
Yeah, but standing in line, you know, I thought they were going to be 175. We get to the door, they're 250. And I was just like, yo, that kind of hurt me. But
You still bought them?
oh, yeah, I had to.
I mean, that's a steal.
We got held down. And then the buddy that I was with, he like shows the shoe, like pulls it out of the box in front of the whole window of everybody that didn't get it. So now we're running out the store to the car. I mean, tires are burning, everything.
Are they chasing you?
I mean, it felt like they were. You know, in your mind, you're probably like, yo, they're like right behind me.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was true, but it felt like it because they were pissed.
Yeah.
Everybody was pissed off.
It's a classic. You say the guy banged you over the head for $250. A couple years ago, I asked him to buy a pair that he came up on. I think I offered a $500. He told me to take a walk.
Same shoe?
Yeah. Black Laser 4. So
Be your own people.
Do you get surprised? Because we were talking about it before here when I went to a few stores recently. I was surprised that the Chicago 2s are sitting on the shelves.
So again, that's crazy to me because here in the Midwest, we sold out of that shoe in less than 10 minutes.
okay,
Like,
so that's interesting.
That's what
so
I'm
they're
saying,
sitting in
like-
New York. Okay,
But again, the Midwest, we're so hungry for just like what we haven't had that now it's like everything vanishes. Like people actually buy the product, people actually wear the product. Like I'm seeing the resellers are actually slowing down because they're like, there's no margin, they're not making money. But the guys that actually wanted these shoes now are getting them, you know, and that's like, I'm super hyped on that.
Do you feel like it's a misconception, or do you get frustrated when people label a sneaker that's sitting on the shelf as a bad sneaker?
Yeah,
or a
they'd be like,
brick or something?
trash.
Or a
You're
brick.
like,
Yeah.
brick. Oh, these bricked. And again, it just goes back to technology. Like, you know, they're pulling up the resale apps. They're like, oh, I can get these for $10 over retail. Like, then buy them here for retail.
Yeah.
Like, what's the problem? You like the shoe. But again, you know, we know where influence is coming from now. It's literally coming from our phones and our app.
What did you think about? I know we had a big discussion about it. I don't want to get super into it. What did you think about like the resale shops unloading all the bricks in the mystery boxes recently?
I think that's really that's bad business, one, because you made that buy. And, you know, that's part of business too. If that was the case, you know, there might have been a shoe from us that we could just do a mystery box. But, you know, I'm not like that. And again, I don't feel that sleazy to be like, hey, take my brick, you know, and get it, you know, it becomes your problem.
Passing the buck, passing the
Yeah,
brick.
passing that brick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that.
So I think one of the epidemics in the sneaker world right now is all these resale shops. And I walk around New York and I'm surprised by how many resale shops there are that all seemingly sell the same set of Dunks, shrink wrapped. And
Jordan 1s,
yeah,
Dunne.
and I
Man.
see these spots pop up. Do you have these in Cincinnati like this? And are you also confounded by the question of how they make any money or any margin?
Yeah, because again, margin is like, how are y'all making this? And then one, I'm concerned because then are you even selling authentic product? Because, I mean, think about it. We know that what we can get, if I can only get, you know, 24 pairs, how the heck you got 100 and a whole picture full of them?
For
I'm
a Dunk or a Jordan 1.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this does not make sense to me, how they're doing it.
And how they're paying rent.
How they're paying rent, because prices are definitely going up in all of my markets, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, and then soon to be Dayton. So
Do you feel like it's like a struggle with like, you know, competing for business? Because like we talked about before, where you have the customer who only wants Panda Dunks or Jordan 1s, and like that stuff sells out of your store as soon as it's there. Then they go to a store, even though marginally more, that's all the store is.
yeah. To the parent, yeah, because then the parent's confused. They're like, well, how come your prices are so low compared to them? Then they're kind of looking at us like we're the bad guy. And I'm like, no, they get their product from places like mine, and then they go over there and, you know, mark it up. And then they're like, so
You have to actually explain how it works.
It's a lot of education. Like I said, on Saturday morning, I'm like standing there with moms and dads trying to explain to them how to get their kid here first so they don't end up over there.
And then say like when a lost and found Jordan 1 gets announced or is like confirmed.
Yeah.
What is that like? We're celebrating tonight, but is that like
Yeah, I mean, everything that you get, right, it comes at a cost. A headache is a cost that I incur. But I'm happy that we get it. I'm happy that we get the quantities that we get. Sometimes I'm like, man, you guys, especially with, again, people saying like, there's 1 million pairs getting made. You're like, yeah, well, I'm not getting 1 million pairs.
It's like I'm getting 100 pairs or whatever. Like,
man, or less.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's still the game that we're playing. A lot of the retailers are playing this game, So we have to kind of figure out, like, how do you just get it over with at that point?
Get them all accounted for.
Yep.
Right, yeah.
Like I don't know how much your allotment's getting, but when I worked at Foot Locker, I worked at like a $1.5 million store, which wasn't huge, but it's like a decent size.
Sorry, that's 1.5 million a month.
No, yearly.
Annually.
Got it.
And that's
I don't know.
it's not like a tiny store, but it's not like a huge like store, but like decent sized store. And we were lucky if it's a Jordan release and we got 48 pairs.
Yep.
And so people think that there's this reality that like every store's getting 400 pairs of every Jordan release, and it's like you may only be getting 36 pairs.
Man, I mean, that's a good number. Like, I'm not confirming or denying it, but that's pretty much where we live. And it's like now we're trying to go back to first come, first serve with everything, because I've told my team, like, I'm tired of raffles. I'm tired of people complaining about them. So, hey, they want to, be here first, then cool.
So camping.
Camping's back.
Do you feel like that's the best way to release sneakers right now?
I think, again, when people complain, what's one of the biggest complaints? Oh, I don't meet the people that I used to, So I like to bring that back, and I want to give people that experience again. I'm very fortunate in Indianapolis and Cincinnati that they kind of police themselves. They're cool about it. Like, man, they really do a good job. I don't think y'all could do that out here in New
You're
York.
not worried about something like wild happening outside of the release?
Because like I said, just like in our city, we're really respected. So people kind of just like, yo, man, not at corporate. Like, don't do that.
There was never anything hectic that happened at a corporate.
There have
sneaker
been
camp
hectic
out?
stuff.
Like what?
Oh man, this dude, he probably like ate a steroid right before he got in line, and like, I mean, he was just like huge, and he was trying to cut some ladies, and I kind of had to walk out there. I'm not the tallest person ever.
What release was this?
It was a Yeezy. It was like the Pirate Black and Red.
Okay.
Like when those first came out. Like, what was that, 2015 maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And I had to politely ask him, like, hey, man, you mind like not messing me up or not messing up my shop or, anybody in line. And he was cool about it. And then when he got in, he actually got his size so we could like kind of like, sigh of relief because,
I was going to start throwing fixtures in the middle of the store.
He would have threw me. I mean, like he would have threw me. Like,
but
honestly,
you disarm. Sometimes he comes out in after a morning workout, and we got to disarm him a little bit. But we get it.
The one didn't you
David Banner.
did you guys have like the insane release for that Rebellionaire?
Yeah,
yeah,
so that was
yeah.
a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's kind of crazy too because that actually almost didn't happen. The week that the week that I got contacted by the brand, I was dealing with my father passing. So I was like, do I keep going? And I could just hear him telling me like, you got to do it. Like, this is what you waited for. Like, so I did it. And then we teamed up with this company that I had my eye on for some like couple months. Like, yo,
Kind of like an agency?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Press Go Productions. So super good dudes out of Chicago. And I called them up like, yo, I want to do the craziest thing that the Midwest has ever seen. And we took over a space called The Columns for a week. We did programming. We did the shoe release. We did nightly events with the community. We brought in all the schools to, hear the story, to talk to the designer who actually on this one was from the area.
Yeah, can you talk about Eric and Chad Sandy?
I mean, I can talk about my boys, yeah.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
they're names who people who are in the
Yeah.
industry know, but I feel like people listening to this or watching this may not actually know, and it's rare that we get to explain in explicit detail who is behind some of the sneakers that they love, and I think Eric Sandy and Chad Sandy, being guys who are from Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken, from
from
Ohio.
the area.
Okay,
yeah,
they're from the area.
Yeah, tell them that.
Who
yeah.
work on these sneakers,
Yeah, so again, like I said, like the Midwest, we always kind of like, get looked over, but yeah, they're at Jordan Brand making some great decisions, making decisions to bring stuff back. really looking at quality materials.
Yeah. Do they both work on the Jordan 1?
So they work on just everything, Jordan. I mean, I'm talking about special projects, just everything. But yeah, man, they're really like building like better lasts for the shoes that actually feel good again. I mean, they're taking their time and doing some really good stuff.
I felt like the Rebellionaire was like a contested shoe to some degree, though. Like,
you guys didn't like it.
I
right?
didn't like that.
These
shoe
two
at all.
didn't like it at all.
Okay, so now I can't stand to see them because we sold so many of them.
Oh,
But it was a great time, and it was kind of like our coming out party. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, people had heard about corporate, but then when that shoe hit, like, you know, I'm signing the shoe, I'm signing the box.
You were autographing sneakers?
Yeah, man, that's
They had
like that's
they
super
did
cool.
they have
I'm not
the
gonna
X on
lie.
it?
Yeah, on the back.
Yeah,
right?
on the act, yep.
You throw it up a little?
You know what I mean? Yeah, you know.
What is one project you tried to bring to a brand, Nike or Jordan, that you were really passionate about that didn't happen? Is there one that sticks out? I feel like you said, Cincinnati with the Bearcats have so much history.
Yeah.
Like even back in the day, I think of like Kenyon Martin days and things like that. Like what is there one project that sticks out that you could talk about that like you really wish?
Well, so not with Jordan or Nike, but with New Balance. I had an idea. I went to them. I said, "This is it." They
This
loved
was right
it.
around the time of the Kennedy 999, right?
Yeah.
Do you know this idea?
He might. It sounds like it.
What
right?
is it? What is it?
Man,
Let's
you
see.
be having
Keep going.
insiders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
y'all don't even
He is.
understand. He be
He's-
getting.
yeah.
He knows my middle name and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, how?
Brendan
Go on, go on.
Wojciechowski.
Yeah, man. So New Balance. I was like, you know, high on them. Everybody was. We were doing really good business with them. We presented an idea, and then I happened to see it just kind of come out with another retailer.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, man.
what was the idea?
Denim. It was a denim idea. You know, it was kind of weird because like the artwork had my actual mistake, and it kind of rolled out.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
man.
How is that possible? So like you
I don't know.
You submitted an idea to them, and
Yeah.
then the actual shoe that came out under a different store
Yeah,
had a
Your-
mistake that you had made.
yeah.
I remember a denim MT580.
Was it
Okay.
580? I don't even remember what they put it on. That might have been a 580 actually.
An MT are your initials, so it might have been
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of.
fate.
you do know his middle.
Look, hey man, this guy Brandon be like, yo, can you confirm or deny this? And I'm like, I don't know nothing about this.
We
It's
can talk
funny.
about that when the mics are off.
Nah, y'all be seeing stuff before we see it, and we're like, wait, that's coming out? Like dead serious.
No,
Y'all
come
are
on.
seeing stuff that soon now, and that's another problem we got to figure out.
Yeah, this guy.
No, we don't have to figure that out.
we got to figure it
This
out.
do you
guy,
mean? That's a
this
problem.
guy
Why is
may
that a
leak.
problem?
This guy may leak spring 2025
Are the-
by the time you're out of New York.
Are the brands like ever like trying to investigate or crack
I
down
hope
on?
so.
Please say no.
I hope so.
No, I meant
Please
on
say no.
I meant on the retailer, and if they're
Oh.
ever like suspicious that like stores are like leaking information or early shoes.
Man,
or,
I don't even
Turn
think
this
it's
off
us.
right now.
No, like I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even think it's us. Like I don't
Yeah.
think it's us, the retailers. Like it's internal, man. Like there's so many people that touch stuff now. It's just kind of like we're just like, man, like please.
There's like someone who like colors the stitching on the shoe who gets us the documents. That,
I
Why are
don't
you
even-
speaking
I
of
don't-
stitching? You're doing some snitching.
Listen,
What?
man, I'm gonna go with this. Like the people in the office, I think they work so hard that it's not coming from them because I think that they're invested too. They like what they're doing, so I don't think it's them. It might be a factory. It might be somebody that sees it that doesn't care about us. You know what I mean?
Do you
But
need
I
to
don't
make,
think
like,
it's
a-
somebody that
like
cares.
a Clue version of who leaked the sneaker.
Bro, why are you trying to get me in trouble? What is
Knives
this?
Out.
This
I
is
didn't say it.
crazy.
This is
Knives
Wait, I'm
Out.
not doing it.
No,
am I?
not it.
Oh,
Yeah.
you on the stand. Welty on the stand? Is this a stand?
I do want to ask you though, because I feel like there's a bit of a question in the public's mind still of whether or not brands care about things like that, or even when it comes to sneakers getting backdoored. I was tweeting about it a little bit last year, this photo of this dude showing up to Flight Club with a bunch of Air Jordan 1 lost and founds before the release. And, some people have told me that when an image like that comes out, the sales reps are going to be asking questions and trying to figure out how that stock got there. And a lot of people's cynical response is Nike doesn't care. Jordan Brand doesn't care. Does Nike care? Does Jordan Brand care when sneakers get backdoored
so
like
for
that?
the Midwest, yeah, like the sales team, they're amazing. Like they really be like, come on guys, like I know this ain't y'all, like what's going on here? So like, yeah, man, I think I think the brand still cares a lot.
And do people get in trouble when stuff like that happens?
Definitely. I mean, come on, man. We're not, nobody's a dummy in this day and age, right? Like, there's things that they can pull up that like says, okay, this
is
looks
the
familiar.
invoice number.
Yeah, like this looks familiar.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to play that game, I don't think you risk it now.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, man, it's too much money to lose, first off. And then for the future, too, for your stores.
Livelihood.
Yeah, my livelihood. My daughter got to eat. Well, all three of my daughters got to eat. So, yeah.
I know you said, talked about working at Foot Action back in the day. Were you there when, I know that like somewhere in the 2000s, there was an initial push by the retailers to be like, you can't sell the shoe before this date or else you're going to like lose your account.
Yeah. Yeah. So I left Foot Locker when they lost, you remember that? In 2003, right?
Yeah.
When they lost the retro side of things.
Yeah.
I went to Foot Action. And man, we were so they were so tied in, like, yo, don't even take them out the boxes. Like, it was crazy, like, at Foot Action for a little bit.
People come in and try and hound you to see the shoes.
Oh, man, we were...
Pay early.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like, you remember that was like when Gold Club was the thing? Like, Gold in the House, when you had that little card.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, like the membership.
Yeah. So that got you, held down. If you were a Gold member, you could get your Jordan held. And that's what kind of put me up. Yeah, pretty much. I felt like it. But that's what got me, like, in the market. Like, everybody knew, like, all right, Matt handles this.
You were the guy to talk to get the early Jordans?
Not early Jordans, but, like, get on that.
He's trying to get people in trouble.
Right. No, to get on that hold list.
Yeah.
So Saturday, we'd have a line, and everybody just come through the line like, yo, I'm already held or whatever.
I'm
so
a
it was
Gold
good.
member.
Yeah.
Skip to the front of the line.
Gold in the house, man. Foot Action days. Red shirt and all that with the khakis.
Did you ever chase people down for stealing sneakers? These guys got some stories
Heck
like that.
nah.
No?
Okay, so one time.
Okay,
But
yeah,
after that, I realized, like, yeah.
What shoe was it?
Oh, man. I think it was the 8s. The 8 low, the black one. It was either that or the white and zebra.
What happened?
But he just ran. So I ran. And then I realized, like, wait. What the, like, why am I running?
Right.
While you're running, you
Yeah,
you had
it
the
clicks
epiphany.
in your head, like,
Yeah.
what's on the other side of this once you
Yeah.
step outside the store? So, yeah. Yeah, man.
What about at your own store?
Nah, like I said, like, pretty respected. So, we don't
Nobody's
have
ever
that
walked out with a pair of shoes at corporate
issue. Nah.
in the history of the brand.
Knock on wood or
Come
whatever
on,
we can.
you got some strength.
How?
No,
How?
come on.
How?
No, we like I said, like, okay, so before I
14
worked.
years? Wow.
Man.
Not even
This is not
internal?
So
possible.
this is my 20th
You
year
never had
in retail.
employees stealing from you?
Have I had employees?
Yeah.
No, because again, my employees aren't employees; they're my family. Like
Wow.
a lot of these people that I'm surrounded by, I've known since I was, in high school.
Yeah.
So like we're all just like family, man. Like yeah, I'm very fortunate. Like my story is way different than the guys that are like, yeah, I met this guy. Like these are the same people that have been with me since I'm saying I'm gonna open the store. When I was at Wright State, I was in this math class and I had a tutor. She's actually our business developer right now. Like I hired her last year. So it's like I'm really connected to everybody that works with me. So it's
Nobody
different.
was ever skimming pandas off the top?
Nope. Not that I found out. So maybe they're doing a good job.
How do you feel about pandas?
Hey, man, everyday business, right? Like
Are you totally, like, do you have that, they've become such a meme, but like, how do you feel about it?
Again, man, that's the business. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to be against something that actually sells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Did Nike tell y'all ahead of time how big of a sneaker that was going to be, or did you foresee how big that was
we
going to
could
be?
see it in our allocations, and we could see that, they're going to just make this available, readily available at some point. But then, obviously we're still dealing with issues with shipping, product coming super late. And I mean, so it hasn't really I don't think we've seen the highest amount of pandas yet.
You think that there's going to be a near future where they're making even more pandas?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think it'll become a staple. You know what I mean? Like a Converse Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, it's not going away in the line anytime
It's
soon.
not going away.
Does that ever remind you of like, I had this conversation with someone recently, like back in the day when you'd be at Foot Locker and you'd be surprised because there'd be like a black and gray Team Jordan that would be like the hottest shoe in the store, and no one would ever think that like
Exactly.
just this black and white or
Yeah.
white and gray Team Jordan is like the chunk of your business.
Yeah. I mean, we have shoes like that all the time. The Jumpman Team 2 actually just came back out. We bought so many of them. And I'm just like, but it's a good shoe because for the area, we're just going to sell 1 or 2 a day. We're just going to keep
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. Because there's always going to be somebody that remembers that shoe. So if I have it, then it's $140 right now. Like, if I don't, then they're just going to walk by like, all right, Timberlands it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, you're absolutely right with that notion. Like, we got to find those pieces to our puzzle. And retail is a puzzle. So
Yeah.
Going back to like the Pandas, say you get 50 pairs, right?
Yeah.
A shipment. How long does it take for them to how many are you selling a day, you think?
So what we've come to do is just put them out.
Yep.
And, you know, obviously there's a chain reaction. One guy gets it, calling up 6 other people.
That's
so
crazy.
I mean, that's how it works, man.
Yeah, of
I've
course.
seen it.
Get down here.
It's
They have-
so
What's the
funny.
sell-through? A couple weeks?
A couple of hours, like a
Really?
couple
Wow.
minutes. Yeah, like
Still, I'm just surprised that
you
it's
could
still
do
that
50 in a
coveted
couple
issue.
hours.
oh, you could do 50 in an hour.
Smoke
Probably.
'em.
Smoke them. And that's where it's like, how do you not, you know, make them evaporate, but
Right.
how do you keep it over time? Oh, we throw it out, you know, on a Saturday before, you know, the Bengals play, or, you know what I mean? Just trying to have fun. You like that? Yeah.
I see.
The Bengals.
Just get your fit together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you talk about shoes like that selling out and you having a big stock of them. I know there was like a lot of talk, you know, white on white Air Force Ones and
Same
like
deal.
retailers like not being able to like hold on to them. And then during like the start of the pandemic, the resellers wanted to resell white on white Air Force Ones. Like, what was that situation like for you in the store?
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, it's funny to me because I'm like, I know how many we get, I know how many we sell, and then I still see them, you know, in the market. Like, somebody will post it like, hey, I got them for $150. I'm like, how do y'all do that? Like, how do you even have the courage to ask for $150 when we get them in and we're selling through them every day? Like, I mean, I try to really go hard on all white Air Force One, like, and just make sure that we have it.
Get as many as you can.
Yeah, get as many as we can and make sure that the stores have them.
Do you think Nike was crazy when they raised the price that much on the shoe? Or
Man, I think all the prices going up just kind of, you know, we going to see what the, you know, the long play is. But yeah, it does kind of suck because you're like, come on, guys. Like, again and again. You know, what was it, 2 seasons, right? Like, back to back, they went up to 100, then 110.
I was surprised because the shoe was like $90 for like the longest time.
Yeah.
And then in over the course of a year or whatever, it raised $20, which was
Yeah.
like
It was
15% of the shoe price.
But again, people just, they respond, man, by buying it.
And it's such a weird world where you have resellers reselling white on white Air Force Ones. Do you care? When people are coming into your store, are you trying to not sell to the reseller, or do
I
you
try
not
not
care?
to.
It's only as long as someone's spending the money, they can do whatever they want with the shoe.
It's
As a
tough.
business owner, do you care?
I kind of take it personal when a guy's like, yeah, I need an 8.5. And then 20 minutes later, oh, my girl needs an 8.5. I'm like, funny. Y'all both wear the same size. Like, you know what I mean? So just like kind of the way that they approach it, then I'm like, bro, like, be serious. Like, have some respect for the next person. But yeah, it does kind of get annoying to me. But I care. So
Yeah.
I guess it should.
What if it was that something random? Because I remember like back in the day, there was like a weird, almost like segment of resellers. So you'd get like people from Brazil who would come in and the shocks were super big. And like, you don't think of like shocks as like resellers, but you'd get this guy who wanted to like buy as many on sale shocks that he could.
Back in your day, right?
Yeah.
That was happening.
man,
Send them
that
to
was
Brazil.
happening.
Yeah.
100%. They would. Sorry to interrupt.
No.
And then you but I remember,
Yeah.
like, we never talked about that when, like, during our retail days, but that would definitely happen. And I remember just being like, wow, I'm about to have like a
You sold 30, 35 pairs of shoes.
$1,000 sale of shoes that
Nobody
one,
cared
Yeah,
Nobody
and that's
wanted.
exactly, and they were like, we're shipping these all. And I
Regional.
just remember like, yo, I'm about to have
Does that happen to
$1,000
you?
sale. So yeah, did that.
We see guys like that, but they're like, man, I got family here and here. I'm gonna buy all these, and we're like, yo, man, like, you gotta kind of chill, because we're not trying to go like that. Because again, taking your past experience, you know what they're trying to do. So now I'm like, man, just kind of be cool, bro. Like, you know, you can get a couple. You can't
But
get.
even if they were on sale, because like I know for us it used to be like sale shoes that
Yeah.
were just sitting.
I mean, sale shoes kind of don't live in our stores anymore. They just live on
Yeah, we were
.com
big
for
fans.
In a
us.
warehouse somewhere.
That makes
Yeah,
sense. That makes
because
sense.
it's like, you know, fortunately, I haven't been running across too many bricks lately. So like I'm pretty good.
But we
right
got to
now.
get rid of this idea of a brick.
Yes and no, because I mean we got to be honest with ourselves too. Like, because we're buyers, so when Nike comes at you like, hey, what do y'all think of this? I'm like, that's a brick completely for us.
Yeah.
You gave the Converse example as one that surprised you of how quick they moved. Give us like one brick that you were a little surprised, or not a brick, but like one that sat for longer than you thought.
Okay, so like
Recently.
a specific color even?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or yeah,
Like
recently.
97s, like what happened? Like
97s?
yeah, man, like we were on fire with 97.
3 years ago.
Man, it felt like, well, it seems like it was more recent than
27.
that.
I thought it was like 2018 when that shoe like.
Was it
Yeah.
silver
That's when they
bullets or
brought
different
it back.
colors?
After the silver bullets hit,
Yeah.
then it became a flood of colors, and then I'm like, man, like why did I buy so many? But that's the name of the game, right?
People don't care about 97s anymore.
This guy had them in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I mean, he's him, man. He could
That's
do
true.
anything. Like, come on, man.
He is him.
He is him.
Timothy. Timothy.
Timothy
Dunne.
Timothy Dunne.
Just in terms of like how much, again, I think this is always an interesting question because it's difficult to ascertain from the outside about how much brands care about what's going on in the resale business and things like that. The whole backdooring conversation is always an interesting one with a retailer. I'm not going to ask you if you backdoor sneakers because everybody's is on the record as saying they don't backdoor sneakers.
Yeah.
But do you understand and do you sympathize with how that happens? Like, do you fault a retailer who does it in order to help pay their rent, or do you feel like it's the right thing to only sell to people at retail price?
Okay, so Ho said, I'm always real. That's how I sleep at night, right? So it's like, man, you got to do what you have to do. And I say that because I don't know the next person's situation. I don't know if they have somebody that's sick in their family. We don't know that. So they have to do what they have to do. And that's my stance on it.
Yeah.
Because, man, I mean,
Somebody might be on credit hold with Nike and they got to
man,
figure out how to get out of that hole.
You don't know.
And they might have
Hopefully-
to sell their whole stock of
Yep.
a limited sneaker over retail to a reseller.
But here's the other thing that I think a lot of brands need to take in mind too. If you know somebody's struggling, get them some help too.
Okay.
So, I've been called by a couple of accounts like, how do I get better? That's a very important question. But that's also one of the hardest things you can ask a peer. Like, okay, here, James Whitner,
Yep.
probably the best in the business right now, right? I call him. And you know how hard that first conversation was? Because it was like, man, I don't want him to think I'm lame. I don't want him to think that I'm, coming from a place of like, I'm just trying to steal your shine.
Right.
Like, nah, like wholeheartedly, like, man, if I reach out to somebody, it's because, like, man, I respect you and I see how you're handling business. And then from there, it's kind of like, man, we keep in touch almost every day. Like, I text James, I check on him.
Yeah.
Because who the heck is checking on James right now?
Right.
Like, James is at that top. Like, you still need people that are going to, check on you.
Was that during the pandemic that you like reached out?
Even
What,
then,
business being
too.
slow
Yeah,
or what?
Like, just navigating that, it was like, we all grew closer. Joe from Oneness,
What
Ro
up, Joe?
from Burn Rubber, Deontay from Soul Classics. Anybody in the Midwest, like, man, we were all like huddling up, like, how do we deal with this?
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the craziest times, man. And on top of not only that, I was welcoming a child.
Yeah.
So I'm like, bro, I can't get sick. My wife can't get sick.
Yeah.
I got to bring her home. Like, so we were all like, huddled up trying to figure out how do we do this. And, one guy might get information. We're like, man, you got to share it because.
And then share it with me.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm
Not-
saying like.
Don't share.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
added
The pieces to your
you've
puzzle.
You've added Brendan Dunne to the
Pieces of
group
puzzle.
chat. He gets kicked.
It
One
goes
leak,
quiet
he gets
real
kicked.
quick.
One leak, he gets kicked out in 5 minutes.
Nah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good. But no, but just like finding information like, how do you set up an online raffle? How do you set up, just different things to help us navigate that time?
Yeah.
Like we were all on it, man. We were all checking with each other. When people were getting sick, we were like, man, you got another one? Like, dog, you sick? And, it was crazy.
15 years in, going to be 15 years in, what are you most excited about? And what are you most fearful about?
Ooh, I have a good project coming. I have a couple.
You got a
well,
Jordan
actually,
4?
man,
A sneaker
I
collab?
hope
Imagine
so.
that.
You have a sneaker collab coming?
I got some things coming,
Okay.
bro.
How
See,
soon?
He doesn't have the information,
Yeah.
so I'm feeling really good about our the people that are working on the stuff. Yeah,
Dave, text me.
Sneak's gonna be like, I don't know nothing.
But yeah, so okay.
Yeah. So 15 years, teaming up with some great partners that we've had, some people that aren't expected, some things that you guys probably do expect, and just having fun with it, man. Just like, this year, my goal for Cincinnati is to like really put Cincinnati on this new pedestal of, now we got sports popping. We got, a lot of good things coming to the area. I want to add value to that. And so it's going to be good.
Let's do a Joe Burrow, Kid Cudi corporate installation. We all fly out.
We should call Dennis, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I talked to Dennis. I actually talked to Dennis last night.
There it is.
We all fly out. We'll fly out for that.
Yeah, Dennis.
Yeah,
Dennis is that guy.
Listen, he has enough information. We don't have to tell him, but I'll tell you.
Are you going to convince people that Cincinnati chili is actually good?
First off, I don't even eat that.
Oh,
I almost cussed right there. Yo, bro, like,
Wait, you might be offended by this, Joe. As an Italian American,
it's called Skyline Chili, right? Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
First off,
it's spaghetti with chili on top of it
Skyline.
and cheese and onions.
We only do bolognese. If we're doing a little meat on top of, if there's any meat on top of the pasta, we're usually going for bolognese. So that does sound not great to me. But wait, is it? I don't want to judge.
No,
Okay.
I mean. Yo, look,
Are they going to let you back in Cincinnati after you said this?
They probably won't. They're going to stop me right as I deplane. Yeah.
All right, so I got to know.
What were you talking about?
I'll do a taste test once I get there when we have the Cudi Burrow event.
There it is.
You didn't say what you're fearful of, but maybe we don't need that.
No, we do. What do you fear for? Yeah,
okay.
Fear? I don't have no fear right now.
No fear lives here?
No fear lives here, man. You let that in and it just starts attacking you, right? Like
the only fear you got is the fear of God.
There it is.
Or the fear Jordan 3s or 4s
no,
or 5s.
We all know the Jordan 4 is the best of all time.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Every time I post about the 4, that's my brother in 4s. I told you.
Man.
Throw it up.
Every time you post,
throw it up.
I get it sent like I don't even know the guy. Yeah. And it's hilarious. I'm like, okay, I saw Joe, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I know Joe.
Yes,
like,
right.
Nah, so it's tight, man. But having a good year, gonna have a good year, just like you guys.
And then one more thing, can we celebrate? I just want to, you're talking about the Midwest sneaker scene. Like, what are the other stores in Ohio? Like, what does that look like besides just corporate?
Okay, so Cleveland exhibition.
Of course.
Been there.
Yep. Columbus, Soul Classics.
Yep, what up, Deontay? I've been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll be in Dayton, like I said. So it's kind of like going all the way down from the top to the bottom.
Dayton.
Yeah, you already know.
Unheard of. Shout out to Phil.
Unheard of, yeah, Phil Lipschitz, good dude. We actually worked together at Foot Action.
Really?
Phil.
Something that y'all didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shouts to Phil. Yeah, been talking a little bit.
Okay.
Did you feel any sort of spite that one time Joe Kim Noah was like, I don't think anyone goes on vacation to Cleveland?
No, because I'm from
I know,
Cincinnati.
but it's just Ohio in general. Just Ohio.
No, because trust me, man, like, you be like, yo, let's go to Orlando or Cincinnati. And gonna have to go to Mickey Mouse, right? Like, yeah, dog.
Orlando or Cincinnati?
Oh man, that's a rough one.
Come on.
He barely goes to Brooklyn. He barely goes to Brooklyn on the weekend.
I know, man. What was that about? You ain't buy no sneakers on the whole trip.
This is our at least my mission for Welty in
Yeah.
2023 is to get him to buy some sneakers.
Yeah, you
Expand my
gotta do
horizons.
We'll see.
I've never bought shoes before in my life.
Maybe your first purchase can be a corporate.
that. Yeah, come through, man.
They got them.
And that's the other thing,
Corporate
too.
got 'em.
Y'all are going to be invited when we do what we do.
Okay.
Can't wait.
I'll make sure that y'all
Always
roll
happy
down.
to have an invite to a sneaker event.
It's not even a sneaker event.
Oh.
It's like a whole lifestyle event. Like,
It's a
I'll make sure
movement.
I get y'all some good
It's a label.
food.
Nice.
Not some Skyline chili.
No.
Where are we eating in Cincinnati?
Oh, man. We got to go to Jeff Ruby restaurants, man.
What's
What is that?
on?
I'm gonna see what Phil says
He's
about
the
that.
GOAT.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a little higher access than Phil over there. So you might.
Okay.
I'll tell Phil before I tell you and then get it going.
Okay.
He said it, not me.
Yeah. I mean, he knows. Like, yeah. Yeah.
All right, listen, this has been great. Hopefully, when those projects take fruition, you come back maybe.
I got y'all. No, yeah, you should buy the corporate shoe from us. That would be, yeah.
Wait, so you are doing a shoe?
This year?
Huh?
You
It'll
are
be out
doing a
this
shoe
year?
this
Wait,
year.
Yeah,
Just
this year.
Okay.
Okay. Welty, will you be first in line?
Is it a Jordan
Yes.
too low?
At Tula?
He might take some steroids before he shows up to that.
Look, if Welty's in the front, respectfully, I got to bring a Cincinnati in first. I'm sorry, Welty.
Wow.
We do this thing, and at the Rebellion era, a guy came in with Adidas. He was the first person.
Yeah.
I said, respectfully, you can't come in first.
Really?
Ooh.
Nah.
Wait, into the Jordan installation with
That's
Adidas,
what I'm
you
saying.
said no?
I was like,
Damn,
The
that's
Jordan rep
tough.
is right there,
That's
like increases
discrimination.
the
That's
Jordan
tough,
rep increases your allocations.
the
on
whole
the spot.
Jordan team was like, yo, you're wild. I said,
That's
hey,
tough.
man, y'all pay for this. We
She's
can't
trying
do
to,
that.
I'm gonna prove this to you.
That's
Like prove your
tough.
loyalty.
Double the allocations.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you definitely, you have a Jordan insulated. This guy, he may wear one New Balance on one foot and an Adidas on the left foot just to
Pry
to
it
test.
off of him as he walks through the door.
Maybe you wear your Laser 4s that you didn't sell me.
Oh yeah, maybe.
For me? For me?
No? All right. Listen, Matt, thank you so much. Enjoy
Appreciate
the rest
y'all.
of New York. We're so happy we could have you on. Long overdue. We'll be watching for all the projects. And, you know, anytime you want to chop it up about the greatest sneaker of all time, Jordan 4,
You heard it
which is right there.
right there.
Hit me up.
Beautiful.
This has been the Complex Sneakers Podcast. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Please like, subscribe, comment, do everything. Hit that little bell. We'll see you next week.